change, change. I was walking and reflecting and thinking in regards to self and and that which is outside of self. When it comes to my feelings, my thoughts, my activity, and my behavior, past and present, that will result in the future, even though some would say that they are one and the same, you know. The past, present, and the future are like three-dimensional, you know. Three dimensions of change, you know. You as a baby you crawl, then you stand on your own 2 feet, and then you may use a cane, you know. Yes, change, you know. It is a evolutionary process, but it is change is the product of human effort. That after must be synthesized unto a useful purpose. When inspiration comes down, one's aspiration goes up. As I was looking out of through the windows of my eyes, the soul, that which I see outside of me, my perception seems to, or observation of what I perceive, seems to be division. Division amongst ourselves as humanity, and division amongst myself, you know. I come to realize that that I must not allow that which I observe and perceive as if it is so, that it doesn't divides me, you know. And what comes into mind is that in the English expression, the Bible talks about Satan is not, can't be divided against himself or whatever. Satan is negativity. Can you divide negative, or is it that which is divided amongst himself? It's like are we in competition with ourselves, and are we as an individual, are we in competition with ourselves personally, and as individuals or people, are we in competition with one another? Why would we be in competition with one another as opposed to cooperating with one another? A house divided against itself shall fall, and therefore we see the fall of humanity. Fall or fell into the trap of being at odds with one another. Social comparison, hatred, animosity, distrust, chaos, corruption, turmoil, and confusion. But yet, needless to say, that which it says in another teaching, that which negative energy or Satan is, he only offers you a suggestion, and that which he offers is delusion. Very delusional. So, how can change come about if something is not removed? And that what must be removed is being in competition, in divided, and at odds with each other. Because remember that something must resonate within our soul, because the decisions that we make, creates different effects. But remember, the decisions that we make is contingent upon the company that we keep. And we must learn to keep good company one with another. I'm talking about in the best of ways for the development of the intellect and the betterment of humanity, and in the optimizing way when it comes to the totality of our well-being, as it pertains to our health, our feelings, healthy feelings, a healthy and whole attitude, thoughts, language that we use. And because what our inner conversations, what we have with ourselves, create our circumstances, and then our actions, our activity, So we must change, allowing anything to put ourselves at odds with one another. But the change first starts with the individual. The individual is the sum total of his thoughts, So as we change, if we become whole, healthy, wealthy, and wise, it seems as though that the society, people who are under the influence of being delusional, vacillate up and down by being aroused and by their urges, to further be at odds with him or herself as well another, and which represent really a contradiction, and that which is contrary to one's nature. To be at odds, you got look at the anatomy and how it works. It works in syncs, and when something is not working properly, then therefore there comes a problem, So it is the balance, which means there is a dis-ease. A dis-ease really is a disease, a unbalance. So we must have the balance. So what is the moral of this story, or this expression? Don't be so hard on yourself personally. Because there is still a lot of growth that is in each and every one of us to come into a state of peace. But we must be on the path with the proper understanding and guidance. Because when you have understanding, you got clarity. And when you got clarity, things become crystal clear on how you need to go about obtaining things in the best of ways for the betterment of your what? Of your intellect, of developing of your intellect, for the betterment of your humanity. Because character is the outgrowth of one's humanity. So be not in despair. Be not at odds with yourself personally. And be not at odds with others. Because when you are at odds with others and we are become at odds with ourselves, then therefore we become in competition, and that is social comparison. It says that the victor divides the spoils. The victory is not in the dividing of the spoils. The victory is being centered, balanced, sound mind, an environment that's safe. When you are secure, when you are kind, when you are generous, when you are honorable, when you are caring, when you are loving, and when you are respectful for the greater good of the totality of your whole being, that you cooperate with it. And when you learn to cooperate with it and not being divided or in competition with it, then you will remove that which is not resonating with you properly in an orderly fashion. That we come into a state of peace.